everybody, to the Beaver County weekly recap. This is week 4, and we're getting into section games. So there's a lot of good competition and a lot of good games. I did get to 3 games this week and stream 3, so I have some good highlights, and we had a really fun game between Central Valley and Hopewell that we'll get into. The one thing I want to talk about before we get started, though, is to talk a little bit about YouTube and what I'm doing there. So of course, I keep pushing to get people to subscribe to the channel, and one of the reasons why is because I'm going to start doing a lot as far as adding content to the YouTube channel. So there's going to be daily highlight clips of girls great plays that they're making. Of course, the highlights are going to be in a section called shorts. So the shorts are something that I'm going to do on a daily occurrence, and it's going to hopefully drive a lot of traffic to our network and start helping to grow it. There's going to be there's a community section that we're going to start using as far as posting any pictures we have, and then there could be polls, or who's going to win this week type of thing, and also any kind of comments or some things that I have coming up down the line here. And then we are at around 260 subscribers now, and my goal is to reach 500 by the end of the year, or the end of the season, the summer season anyway. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed yet, you don't want to miss any of this. So go to the channel, click on the subscribe button, and you want all updates, and then you'll get notified whenever I post any new videos, go live, anything in the community, and anything with the shorts. You'll get notified that there's something new out there to check out. So and growing the channel is a good thing. The end result hopefully is to enable some of the monetizing features within YouTube, and what that'll do is help pay for the network, and it will keep it free for everybody. There's never going to be any cost for anyone. So it's just something that we need to do to help grow it and try to get where we need to be with it. So with that, let's dive into week 4. Okay, so of course the first segment that we have is the GameChanger Top Performers. So you'll see a lot of familiar faces on this week's Top Performers list, but these girls are starting to show. Cream always rises to the top. So as the season progresses, you'll be able to see what players are. The girls to really keep an eye on and see how they're developing and how they're playing. So, as we continue to progress into the season and follow GameChanger, we'll get to see what we got here with these girls. Now, the one thing I do want to say is that if your coaches aren't using GameChanger, there's really no way for me to keep an eye on the statistics. So if you have a player who is performing well and you don't see her on this list, please reach out to me and let me know, and we'll see if we can figure out how we can get some of that information towards me, so I can give her the recognition that she deserves. So these are the top performers for week 4 according to our GameChanger statistics. Okay, so the next segment here is going to be the teams to watch segment, and what this is just talks about the top 5 teams in the area or in Beaver County who have been performing up to this point in the season. So we want to start with Riverside. This week they haven't moved; they're still the top dog in Beaver County. They defeated New Brighton easily, and they dropped a tight one with the defending state champions Neshannock. And they were hanging with him, and then their starting pitcher, a 10-to-watch player, is Sam Rosenberger. She ended up pulling just a slight pull of a muscle, so she wasn't able to finish the game, and that's how Neshannock kind of pulled ahead and won easily. But like I said, they were hanging with them. And it's something that we need to keep an eye on, especially their next game together, section game. It should be a fun one to watch. Then Hopewell is playing really well recently. They won in the bottom of the 7th walk-off against Central Valley this week, and we'll have highlights on that. I did do a live stream of that that game. And if you haven't seen it yet, you need to watch it. It's a really good one. And then they escaped the scare at Mohawk. Their starting pitcher, Maya Parrish, took a ball off of her hand. And I was talking to her dad, and she seems to be okay. So there's no long-lasting injury there, but she is going to have to recover a little bit to get back from that. But I'm sure that kind of stopped everyone's heart in Hopewell, seeing her have to leave the game because of that injury. But she's going to be okay, which is good. You want to see her definitely compete down the stretch here, especially in this section. This section's a really tight section with Hopewell and Central Valley and Elwood City and Mohawk. These 4 teams are going to battle it out to the end, and it's going to be really fun. A lot of these games that they've played against have been decided by 1 or 2 run games. So a lot of excitement, and that section is really going to be fun to watch play out the rest of the season. And talking about that section is another team in it, Central Valley. They took a tough loss against Hopewell. They had a pretty nice lead going into the last inning, and Hopewell came back and took it from them. But Central Valley did have a nice bounce-back victory against Elwood City over the weekend. And I do have a highlight of that I'm going to show you later. It's a pretty nice play to end the game. And then Southside really hasn't been on my radar much, just because that I haven't got a lot of communication back from the coach. And I'm not able to find them on GameChanger, but I see them posting things on Facebook. So I know they're out there. I just need to kind of figure it out, find them, and try to get some of the names that are helping that team be successful here. So they are 4-2 overall, 4-1 in their section. They did take a hit losing to Union, but Union always has a good team, so it's kind of understandable that they took a hit there. But like I said, they're a young team. I know they're a younger team. I know they had a lot of graduates leave Southside, so they are definitely in a kind of a rebuilding phase. But they're looking like they're putting some wins together, so I need to keep an eye on them. Then of course Western Beaver, they took a couple lumps this week getting into their section play. They do have a tough section to play in, so we'll see how they bounce back from that week. And we'll go from there. So then we'll get into the next segment, which is going to be our top plays. Okay, so let's go into our first game, which is the Central Valley at Hopewell game, which proved to be a really fun and entertaining game, back and forth. They were fighting the whole game. It was a really good game. Now the first damage was when Hopewell Victoria Man hit this double that scores a run, which makes it 2-0 in the first inning. Then in the fourth inning, it's still 2-0, and then Haley Cook hits this double that scores 2 more, which makes the game now 4-0 in favor of Hopewell. Then we go into the third inning, and so Macy has an 8-pitch walk, and she gets on first, and of course she steals second to get in scoring position. And we have Aubrey Grader, who's a freshman for Central Valley, hits this grounder to first, and she kind of bobbles it, misplayed it a little bit. And of course, with Macy's speed, she's going to score on that. That was the first score for Central Valley, so now it's 4-1. No other damage that inning. Then we played a couple to the third and fourth, whatever, and Central Valley is at it again. So we have Katie Sullivan up, who hits this grounder for a single, and it kicks past the outfielder, and it's going to score 2 runs. So that was a big hit that kind of sparked Central Valley and got them moving. It was they weren't done this inning. So then after a couple base runners, bases are loaded, then Emerald Weaver singles with this nice line drive to the outfield, and that scores 2 more runs. And that gives Central Valley the lead, 5-4. Central Valley isn't done, so in the fifth inning, we had a runner on, and Nadia Ely hits one past the center fielder, and she's going to score. Hopewell has such a big field. A lot of these hits in this game should have been home runs over the fence, and that was one of them. But with that big field, it's really tough to get the ball in quick. And so Hopewell bounces back with Ava Compton hitting this triple, which is probably another ball that would have been over the fence. And then she later scores on a Jordy Glumac sacrifice fly. And then going into the bottom of the 6th inning, we have this fly ball into left field that's misplayed, and that scores a run. There were 2 outs in that situation, so that gave them a run back. So Hopewell now they're down by 1. So now we're going into the 7th inning with Central Valley leading 7-6, and this is where it gets fun. So first up is Jordy Glumac. Now, Central Valley did get the first 2 batters as outs, so there are 2 outs when all of this happens. And here's Jordy Glumac, who just absolutely demolishes this ball. In any field in Beaver County except for Hopewell, that's a no doubt home run. But of course, with this big field, Jordy gets a triple on that, but it should have been a home run. That was just an absolute bomb. And then the next batter, who is Victoria Manigan, she hits this ball just out of the reach of shortstop, so that scores a tying run. So now they're 7-7, and this brings up I think they call her Tula, but it's Tula Show Rank. And if I pronounced your name wrong, I'm sorry. But here it is, the game-winning hit. Yeah, in all honesty, it's games like that makes me want to do this stuff. Just to see the excitement and just the back and forth battles. It's just it's fun. It's fun to watch, and honestly, giving some of this back to the girls and to those of you who can't make it to the game, that's what this network's all about. So that was exciting, very exciting game, and I can't wait to do the next one between these 2 teams here in a couple weeks. Okay, so the next game streamed was the Central Valley versus Beaver Falls game. This was at Central Valley High School, and didn't have a lot of highlights there. It was a pretty quick game. It was a mercy rule game, but there was one highlight that I would like to talk about anyway. Is Maddie Spurnik. She's a junior for Central Valley. She actually hit a grand slam here. An interesting story about Maddie is she actually had back-to-back ACL surgeries on each of her knees. So she really hasn't played softball for very much over the past couple of years. She's been busy getting rehabbed with her knee surgery. So it's exciting to see her hit the ball and she's starting to heat up a little bit. You can see she's starting to get a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more confident. She used to play on my Rage team, and I'm really pulling for her. I really wish her the best, and I hope this hit here lights her up and she starts hitting the way that I know she can hit. So the last game we streamed this past week is Beaver was visiting Ambridge, and what started out kind of slow for Beaver. Ambridge was hanging with them, and Coach Amy, I saw that she gave her team a good ear chewing, and after that their bats really lit up, and they ended up playing the game a mercy rule. So it started slow, but then it really exploded. Highlights where I can share with everybody is Aubrey Bublis. She really made a nice play here at second, diving to the hole and then turning around and making a real nice throw to get the out. So that was a nice play. Then for Ambridge, Caitlin Kaleo, she hits this RBI double in a gap. She scored 2 runs, I believe. Yeah, they held up that third runner, but she got a 2-run RBI on that nice gap shot. And then Sammy Springman, who is a 10-to-watch player, she made this real nice play at short. And I always say that when I see this, always want to keep your feet moving when you play in the infield, and that was another good example of that. And then the next highlight is her name. She's a 10-to-watch player. Is Kayla Cornell. She's a senior. She hits this home run. That's just an absolute bomb. She crushed it. And like I said, this isn't long after Coach Amy kind of got into her team. They didn't seem to be really focused as a team, but that changed after that chewing. Then right after that, Ambridge switched their pitchers, and the very next pitch, Grace Thompson decides to take it deep. So they had back-to-back home runs. And that really blew the game open at that point. And Grace wasn't done. She wasn't done. She wanted to hit another in her next at bat. So she actually had 2 home runs on the day. And she hits this one straight away center. Home run. 3-run shot. I mean, like I said, Beaver ended up winning that game pretty easily. I think it was 14-3 was the final. This is kind of like a bonus action here. I didn't stream this game. This is the Central Valley versus Elwood City game. Of course, I record all my daughter's games, and this game was an exciting game, just like all these section games in this 3A. Section 3, I think they are, but all these games are just good, and maybe I will start streaming them. I don't know, we'll see. But this game was against Elwood City. It was Central Valley versus Elwood City, and it came down to the last inning, of course, and Central Valley painted themselves in a corner again. They have bases loaded with 1 out, and they have a 1-run lead, and then this play happened. And the play, there was a lot of confusion. It was such a quick bang bang play, and it was just a ton of confusion. It kind of looked like she didn't or did catch it. I don't know. There was some that the Elwood City coach was really arguing about it. But I mean, it was just something. It was just like bang bang, and everyone was like kind of shocked that it just happened. But Central Valley, due to that play, was able to hold on to that victory and keep pace with Hopewell. Yeah, that's all the highlights I had today, and that brings us to the end of the show. Now, like I said, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do. I'm going to start putting a lot of information, a lot of different things in that channel. If you see things out there that's the networks, go ahead and like it. You can reshare it. You can do post it on Facebook or whatever you want. Just help spread the word and get us to help us grow. That's what we want to do at the end of the day, and I appreciate everyone's help and assistance with that. So until next time, we'll catch you at the field.